Sengoku Dynasty is an upcoming open world game which is set in feudal Japan. Now this game is basically an RPG game where you start off the game as a poor peasant who's stuck in the dangers of war-torn Japan, and you're supposed to go out there in the open world to try to gather resources and survive, and also build your own settlement. Now this game features a ton of incredibly amazing crafting mechanisms where you can basically build whatever you want. You can literally build an entire town over time. Now Sengoku Dynasty is also a multiplayer open world game where you will be able to play with other players with co-op enabled. Now obviously this means that you will not be having any PvP action to go against some of the online players, but then you can work with online players and you can build your own settlements together. You can make new friends online, and all the players could in fact join forces in order to fight against the AIs who are basically one of the dangers of the war-torn Japan. And something about the crafting system in this game actually caught my eye is that the building system is extremely simple compared to any other survival games that we got out there, where you can now build some traditional monuments like temples and shrines and all that stuff so that the people that live in your settlement could also take part in some of the religious practices. There are different types of walls and decorations that you can also build throughout your settlements, and the game is so advanced in terms of survival mechanism that you can now build a rice mill inside of your settlement where you and online players can either work together, or you could also hire some of the NPCs in order to help you out and work with you in your settlement, where you guys can start farming. You can literally generate food for the entire settlement, and people, as they keep getting recruited into your settlement, it is obviously going to grow in numbers, and your villagers will basically get married and they're going to have kids, and then the family just keeps expanding over time. Now if you guys are familiar with the game Feudal Dynasty, then you should know that this is the same development team that is working on Sengoku Dynasty, whereas the game is set in feudal Japan, and it's basically a mixture of both Ghost of Tsushima and Medieval Dynasty. And this has always been one of my most fantasizing games of all time. We never really had a survival game that is set in feudal Japan, and I think this is going to be a perfect dream come true kind of a game for me personally, because I'm a very huge fan of the ancient Japan settings, and I just love to go back in time and try out all the survival aspects, and I just cannot wait to build an entire town of my own. And now one thing that I really love about Sengoku Dynasty is that the developers actually gave us multiple options, one being the first person mode as well as third person mode. Now this is something that I'm really in love with, because some players might prefer first person because it might be suitable in terms of immersiveness, but then I always choose third person over first person. Let me know down below in the comments what is your favorite perspective in order to play open world survival games. Now one thing that you guys should know is that Sengoku Dynasty is an RPG open world game, which means that the entire open world is going to contain a lot of RPG quests, which will include of course the main story quest as well as a bunch of side quests, pretty much like the other RPG games that we played like Ghost of Tsushima, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and plenty more games. But this game, it is kind of actually very unique because it kind of has both survival aspects as well as crafting, and also a really committed storyline that players will be able to follow on either by playing it solo or with your friends. It's completely up to your choice. Now in this game, as you keep building your settlements and upgrading it and bringing in more people into your settlements, you will have to make sure that every single action that you commit in the game is of course going to rely on your reputation. So if you do a good thing, this means that people are going to give you much higher reputation. This would actually allow you to recruit more people into your settlement, which means that it just keeps growing over time. So you can basically compete with any of your friends online. If you guys want to make your own towns together, then you guys could just work against each other or maybe even together in order to build something like this. So that is of course a possibility in this game, which is something I'm really curious to see how this is going to work out. And the game also allows you to trade goods and a bunch of services with other online players, where let's say for example your settlement is pretty good in terms of farming rice, and then your friend's settlement has much more manpower, so you can basically exchange both of these things. You can trade with your friends and neighboring towns that other online players basically build of their own. So trading is something that is going to be available in this game as well. And I've got to say though, this is by far one of the most ambitious open world RPG survival game that I've ever seen so far, especially since it's set in feudal Japan. It kind of gives me a lot of vibes from Ghost of Tsushima and also some survival games aspect. So it is now safe to say that this is by far one of my most anticipated game of 2023. Now Sengoku Dynasty is going to be releasing in Q2 of 2023, which means that the game could be coming out anywhere between April to June June, so that's the timeline of Q2 of 2023. Now first, the game is going to be released on the PC version, and the developers have also said that of course the game will also be coming out for the next gen consoles, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, pretty much like how the Feudal Dynasty did. First, the game was released in early access on the PC version, then after a little time they also decided to release it on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. That is going to be the same case for Sengoku Dynasty. So let me know down below in the comments, which platform are you guys going to play this game on, and what do you guys think about a survival game that is set in feudal Japan? And if you guys think that you have any better games that you guys would like me to feature in my next video, then please do leave your thoughts and opinions and whatever game you guys are currently playing down below in the comment section. I would love to read your comments and know what the community is basically doing. And like you guys already know, I always keep you guys updated with all the upcoming open world games, informations, leaks, and basically everything related to open world games is going to be available on this channel. So make sure to go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn the notifications on. And the most important step of all, make sure that you guys are setting your notification settings to all, because if you don't do that, the broke ass YouTube platform, they just don't send you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you guys do it. And also, if you guys did go on and enjoy this video, then please make sure to go ahead and show your support by simply just dropping a like. It hardly takes a few seconds. I would really appreciate it if you guys could just show some gesture of love, support to this content. It really does help me out. It helps out the content, it helps out the channel, and also gets me motivated in order to make better content for you guys every single day. So please, let's go ahead, show lots some love. With that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.